It's the other big story. Former President Jacob Zuma is officially a free man. The 81-year-old is one of more than 9,000 low-risk offenders granted a special remission by President Cyril Ramaphosa. The decision was announced by Justice Minister Ronald Lamola in Pretoria yesterday and has been met with fierce hostility from opposition parties. Newzroom Afrika's Juniour Khumalo has that report.
After going back to the Escort Correctional Facility for a mere hour, former President Jacob Zuma left as a free man. This was after he, along with almost 9,500 other inmates, were granted clemency by President Cyril Ramaphosa. The remission process coincidentally started on Friday, and Zuma appears to be the first of the almost 9,500 inmates to be the beneficiary.
The former president came in at 6 o'clock. And he left after 7 o'clock. And he left after all the administrative processes that were required to be undertaken in line with the criteria that as the National Commissioner have approved of implementing the remission.
The remission process allows Ramaphosa to release offenders convicted on non-violent and non-sexual crimes in a bid to try and combat the overcrowding in correctional service facilities across the country.
The decision to effect the remission of sentences is taken by the President in terms of Section 84(2)(j) of the Constitution. And this decision is aimed to alleviate the overcrowding space in the Department of Correctional Services across the country. And as I've said earlier on, the overcrowding level of the department prior to us losing 3,024 beds at the Kuntamas and Tumule, it was 43.6%. It's now at almost 47%. And this process started in April when we realized through our auditing processes.
Lamola was quick to add that the decision was taken in the best interest of justice and should not be read as a partisan move.
Whether the decision will withstand legal scrutiny, yes, we believe it will, because the President has exercised and taken his decision in terms of the Constitution, in terms of the powers vested in him, that the President can remit a sentence of any offender at any time, which he has done in line with the Constitution. And the President's decision is to remit sentence offenders across the country. It is not a specific decision about former President Zuma. The first issue that the President is obviously concerned about is the respect of the rule of law. And the President believes that the rule of law has been served in this matter.
The decision to let Zuma off the hook has been met with hostility from opposition parties who have threatened to take legal action.
And this really does represent a new low in South Africa for the rule of law and respect for judicial processes. It has been played fast and loose with the criminal justice system in South Africa, and once again has shown that the ANC membership card in your pocket is your best defense against justice, the best defense against the rule of law, and the best defense against accountability.
Similar sentiments have been echoed by Action SA and civil society organization AfriForum. Action SA leader Herman Mashaba says this decision makes a mockery of the criminal justice system. The ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, however, welcomed the former president's release, saying the Department of Justice Correctional Services had meticulously followed due processes. Residents from Zuma's home province who spoke to Newzroom Afrika also welcomed the decision.
uZuma usikhululile lana naku sinamabhizinisi kwimanje kwakhishwa abantu bokufika lana sakwazi ukuthi sithole indawo sikade sicindezelekile so baningi opresident behlala ekhundleni benza ama mistake kodwa manje bengenziwa lutho buka kumanje uRamaphosa iphalaphala kugcine kuphelelepi.
Ngikhuleka kakhulu ngalento ukuthi uZuma ngesa ejele ngoba bezokhanda disorder eningi ezweni. Bekuzovuka lento yokulutha abantu belahlekelwe imisebenzi futhi sihlala emakhaya sibulawe indlala sibonga kakhulu ngale sinqumo esenziwe enkantolo ngokudedela ubaba Zuma.
While he might be set free for now, this is surely not the end of the matter if the promises by opposition parties are anything to go by. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Juniour Khumalo in Pretoria.
More reaction on that story for you now. Legal analyst Elton Hart believes there's no prospect of success in challenging Zuma's early release from jail. The DA says it's seeking legal advice, arguing that Zuma was released under false pretense.
Not in a million years. They will have to change the constitution. They don't have the 2/3 majority, and unfortunately for them, they will shout and scream, kick in one corner. But the constitution grants the president that power to actually grant prisoners remission. And unfortunately for them, former President Zuma, who was in that group that got remission, he qualified for it. If they go to court and say that he doesn't qualify, they must go and prove, because he was sentenced to 15 months imprisonment. It was not for a violent crime, it was for contempt of court. He served 2 months plus another 6 months, makes him 8 months. It's more than half of his sentence. He becomes eligible for parole. Straightforward, simple.